And welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on Jakarta Movers and Shakers. Now, around 50 people gathered outside the Chinese embassy in London on Sunday to express solidarity with people in China and protest against China's leader, Xi Jinping. Now, some protesters in the central London area were seen holding blank paper, which is a symbol of defiance used by some protesters in China against the ruling Communist Party's widespread censorship. One of the protesters, who declined to be named, said that people in China have kept their heads low for years, hoping that things would get better. But in fact, things have not gotten any better for people. Now, the country saw several days of protests across cities, including Shanghai and Beijing, with protesters demanding an easing of COVID-19 curbs.
They have been just keeping their head low, hoping by next year, by next month, things will get better, hoping by cooperating with the party, things will get better. But no, it doesn't get better. And I was enraged by the fire, especially because it's such a man-made problem where, under the disguise of a scientific COVID control scheme, people are forced to be locked inside their homes.
Despite the protests, local Chinese authorities on Saturday announced a further easing of COVID-19 curbs, with major cities such as Shenzhen and Beijing no longer requiring negative tests to take public transport. The capital, Beijing, said Friday that negative test results are also no longer required for public transport starting from December the 5th. Now, the slight relaxation of COVID-19 testing requirements comes even as daily virus infections reach near record highs and follows a weekend of protests across the country by residents frustrated by the rigid enforcement of anti-virus restrictions that are now entering their fourth year, even as the rest of the world has opened up. Now, the Chinese government reported 33,018 domestic infections found in the past 24 hours, including 29,085 with no symptoms. And meanwhile, China's southern city of Guangzhou has taken major steps to ease coronavirus restrictions amid the city's ongoing outbreak. It is among many cities in China, including Chongqing and Chengdu, to announce and implement such measures, allowing some companies to resume operation in epidemic-hit areas. All companies are now allowed to reopen except those in high-risk areas, but the scope of such areas is now strictly limited to only buildings or units. A few large e-commerce enterprises are in the Haishu district, which is the hardest hit area in this outbreak. Now, authorities also said they are not giving up on controlling the epidemic. Rather, the new policies are to reflect the recent COVID-19 response strategies announced by the central government amid an extremely low ratio of severe cases during this outbreak. Now, meanwhile, more COVID-19 restrictions on entering public places have been lifted in Chengdu city of southwest China's Sichuan province to better cope with the latest national epidemic prevention and control measures in ensuring the normal life and production of its residents. Now, several major Chinese cities have indeed relaxed their COVID-19 control measures, with temporary lockdowns being lifted and regular testing requirements being waived for some residents. Experts have pointed out that the pathogenicity of the Omicron variant was 40 times lower than that of the original COVID virus. The further relief also significantly promoted public health awareness against the virus, creating conditions for policy improvements.
Support the relaxation of policy, but individuals also need to take good protection. My whole family has received booster shots. I believe the vaccine can protect us.
Went to the museum today to see an art exhibition, and then I ate at a restaurant without showing my test result. I don't have to stand in a long queue to get tested anymore. I also carry disinfecting wipes with me and wash my hands constantly.